Rick Grimes is one of the most significant references of the zombie universe. We all know him, but would you have survived his story? Today you will find out, we will get into his shoes, and you will make the decisions. Question 1. Rick wakes up in an abandoned hospital bed, completely unaware of the walkers. He can choose between two options. Option A. Rick decides to stay in bed and wait for help, hoping that someone will eventually come to his aid. Option B. Rick chooses to be cautious and leave his bed to look for help in the hospital corridor. Result: A. Rick's wait for help is in vain as no one arrives, and he remains vulnerable when walkers eventually discover him in the hospital. You died. B. Rick's decision to be proactive and search for help in the corridor allows him to avoid being trapped in the hospital room, increasing his chances of survival in the early stages of the outbreak. Question 2. Now you are in the hospital corridor and encounter a closed door. You can choose between two options. Option A. Decides to open the door. Option B. Avoids opening the door and chooses to continue down the corridor toward the stairs. Result: A. When Rick opens the door, he finds the room full of zombies, putting his life in immediate danger. B. Rick's decision to avoid the potentially dangerous room allows him to escape unharmed and proceed to the stairs, increasing his chances of survival. Hey, I know what are you thinking? These questions are easy. This is just the beginning. Question 3. Rick, while moving through the hospital, encounters what he believes to be a human survivor from a distance. As he gets closer, he realizes it's a walker. He has two options. Should Rick run from the walker or try to fight it? Option A. Rick decides to run away from the walker, attempting to escape. Option B. Rick chooses to fight the walker, attempting to eliminate the immediate threat. Result: A. By choosing to run, Rick avoids direct confrontation and manages to evade the walker, preserving his safety. B. Rick's decision to engage in a fight with the walker leads to a struggle, during which he gets injured or overwhelmed by the walker. Question 4. Rick, feeling anxious and exhausted after waking from a coma, is determined to leave the hospital. He has two options for how to exit. How will Rick choose to leave the hospital? Option A. Rick decides to exit through the front entrance of the hospital. Option B. Rick opts to find a less conspicuous exit, such as a back door or a window. Results: A. Exiting through the front entrance exposes Rick to a higher risk of encountering walkers or hostile survivors, leading to a fatal encounter. B. Choosing a discreet exit allows Rick to avoid immediate danger, increasing his chances of safely leaving the hospital and surviving. Question 5. Rick is outside the hospital and comes across a scene with numerous abandoned tanks and helicopters on the ground, but there are no people in sight. What will Rick choose to do in this situation? Option A. Rick decides to inspect the abandoned military vehicles, hoping to find supplies, weapons, or information. Option B. Rick chooses to avoid the area with the abandoned vehicles and continue searching for shelter or other survivors. A. Rick's decision to investigate the military vehicles yields valuable supplies and information about the situation, which can aid in his survival. B. By avoiding the potentially risky military site, Rick maintains a lower profile and keeps searching for a safer and more sustainable location. Do you like this type of video? Do you think the questions are very easy, or do you want them more difficult? If this video is supported, I will continue Rick's decision series with better videos. Any subscription is appreciated. Thanks for watching.